Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a video on social media that caught our attention. They said an Anambra man who was flogged to death by his kinsmen following dispute over family property. Mr. Kenneth, aged 60, died in Nza Ozubulu, Anambra State, hours after being flogged. According to eyewitnesses, they said Mr. Kenneth was flogged because he allegedly sold a water tank in his family house and used the money to solve family issues. Subsequently, his younger brother allegedly arrested him with a vigilante group who carried out the punitive measure. Now, concerned Nigerians are calling on the state governor and the police to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice and also to protect the bereaved wife and children who are being intimidated in their effort to seek justice. This was a very painful story. Like, I was really mad when I saw the story. The fact that, these are his brothers who did this to him just because he sold a water tank. Initially, I felt it was maybe a land dispute. Because when it comes to land disputes, things like this can happen. They can get really violent. But he sold a water tank in his family compound, and then the younger brother, probably that one has a little money, invited vigilante, and those vigilante boys flogged this man, a 60-year-old man, to death. Oh, God. This is just too much. What do you think about the story, first of all?
Okay, so because it has resulted in death, it seems like we cannot address what built up, to it. The fact that he sold the water tank belonging to the family does not seem right itself.
Exactly.
If you're from family where you've experienced where one sibling can just, carry the whole family and sell, this can be very painful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the intentions of the brothers was not death, but correction. But youth, what did they call them? The people that were invited, the vigilante, were overdoing. And, now the death has resulted, either from the actions or inactions of the family members, something has led to death. And so we're investigating a murder case. Whether it's told before that is another matter entirely. But I know that, these things are cultural. There are ways that you address certain issues. Like this, where one brother is investing in the US, sending money, one brother is selling it here. They will say, Shebi is your brother, And so sometimes you invite whatever is a cultural criminal measure, you invite it. You either carry the matter to family compound, the head of family sees to it. If you don't have, you carry to Bale. Or if you don't have, you carry to Eze. Whoever you have as your cultural, traditional measure of criminality and justice, you carry to that place. They should solve for you. The way it is solved is now a different matter. The sad thing here was the most dehumanizing kind of punishment, because they didn't resolve the matter for him to go and bring back the tank.
No, they didn't care about that.
They just continuously abused, beat, dehumanized him till he died. We saw the videos. Wow. Very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. And I'm hoping that his brothers were not in audience. Wow. They were not the ones making watching the video.
Exactly.
Watching, that this happened till this happened.
I think this is avoidable. It's an incident that will have been avoided. In the north, or will I say Muslims, properties that have been left, immediately the father passes on, we quickly share it after 40 days.
Okay.
And there is a formula on how these properties can be shared. And it will be shared, and everybody will be given their own, and everybody will take their own and go. But this, what grieves me about this story is the fact that they are brothers. There's no love, there's no understanding, or I want to even know how they are feeling now that he's dead. How are they feeling? He has left the water tank for them. He has left the building. So how are they feeling? Are they happy about it? So we'll just, once these things are shared, it avoids a lot of issues that can happen in the future. That's my own.
So actually, there's no excuse before the law. There's no ignorance. So there are channels where issues like this could be taken to. You have the court system. The Nigerian security system, I don't think the vigilante is so much of a strong aspect of the Nigerian security system.
It's not even a part.
So that's not an excuse whatsoever. It's just, it just baffles me that most families have lost empathy. You know, your brother sold a water tank. There should be a reason why he did that.
Sold that, yeah.
And you, as a family member, you know they do contributions in family. Now, okay, this one is getting married, let's contribute. This one is, the daughter is going to the US, let's us contribute. Maybe this one will help us. So I just see that there is no empathy in that, no love, no empathy in that family. And we know that there's always a black sheep in every family, whether you like it or not. But people have learned to actually live with their black sheep. And usually there are times when this black sheep comes in handy for the family. So going to call a vigilante, I watched that video, but I couldn't watch it to the end because
it's heartbreaking.
Two people were flogging this man mercilessly. He didn't die. He didn't die immediately, but I guess he would have been internal bleeding because the way they beat this man, he couldn't raise it. You could see bruises on him. So what I want to say is, of course, there's no ignorance, so the law has to take its course. We saw videos of the people that were battering him, so the law has to take its course because they have to set examples. There should be a balance between culture and civility. There should be a balance between what the law allows or what is obtainable in the law and what your culture, if your culture is going against the law, then we have to, this one is culpable homicide. And this has resulted in death, and we know the penalty for death is another death. So I pray the government is able to sort this. To wade into it, actually.
So let's even expand it a bit more. So I happen to come from a family that was sort of toxic in the way the siblings related. So that's not me and my own. We are the new generation. The older generation that we met, could see things like this and behave in this way, right? And it always got me thinking that where is the love? Because I know that aside from the fact that it's a polygamous home and every child will go with the mother and what your mother is telling you about this other woman's children.
Talk to this woman's child. Don't collect here.
Don't go to, don't play with them and all of that. And that causes division.
Of course.
Now, I've also seen families where it's just one woman and you still see this sort of siblings rivalry, because in my head, for you to be my sibling, you should be able to support me when I need help.
Of course.
Before I run to an outsider, I should run to you first. If you're not able to support me, then I'll carry my shame and go outside. But so this seems to me like somebody who needed something, needed a sort of covering. And these younger ones, for whatever reason, could not cover him, and then they decided to kill him. How do we begin to...
No. Let's put the facts out there.
He sold water tank.
They decided to correct him. So for the purpose of
correction,
law, for the purpose of law, they might get a manslaughter. They didn't intend to murder him, but they intended to. He did something wrong. He sold what does not belong to him.
Too far.
So let's talk about entitled siblings.
Imagine
me working so hard in Lagos here. I'm building something, and then one of my siblings just thinks, it's my brother's one, I can use it when I need it. I have a personal story from my father's past, where the entire first funds he gathered when he came to Lagos was totally depleted by his late sibling. Both of them are late now. And my grandma would cry, he's your brother, there's nothing we can do, he's your brother. And so tomorrow I see the building plan. I saw, my father had foresight, but he had a sibling, happened to him. So we must address these issues in every facet. If today, as a mother, one of my children is doing one thing to the sibling, that I will stand up for that justice. I will not bring that sentiment because that's how we arrive here. This person has younger ones, and he is not able to meet up. But if you see him trying, it's a different matter. But entitled men would say, okay, well, I cannot kill myself. You people will buy another tank when I sell this one. Then tomorrow, you will buy another tire when I sell your car tire. Tomorrow, you will buy another roof when I sell the house. Things like that, you keep dealing with it into old age. That's where an error like this can happen. No, so parents, where did their parents also fail?
Now, can I also say something? So there are two sides to every story. Sometimes it could be that this person is just a wayward sibling, like you just mentioned, who just speaks everything and just sells, and then he's been doing this over and over, and this time around we are not going to take it. We just have to give him a form of punishment to deter him subsequently, right? It could also be that he has never sold anything before.
Yes.
And it's not your own property, it's your father's property.
Yeah.
There are ways you can handle this issue, like you rightly mentioned. Take it to the elders.
Yes.
Let them solve the matter.
Yeah.
You also mentioned, as the man is dying, share this thing so that everybody can carry their own and be going. Right? So there are different sides to it. Now, how do we ensure that no matter the side, whether he's the black sheep of the family that has sold almost everything, how do we handle it in such a way that it doesn't result to this?
Like this.
I'm even wondering, because if you're hitting someone that much and you're seeing the pain the person is going through, if you don't really have the intention of murdering that person, you should know when to stop. You should know, because at the point the guy couldn't even shout again, he just went mute, and they kept hitting him. He came back up again. And I want to say something regarding, people from the East, they take respect very seriously, even here in the Yoruba culture. There are families in the East, as you said, he's 60 years, right?
Yeah.
He might just be, maybe, I don't know, he might just be one of the elders who feels, okay, what I say stays. What I say stays, because most of those families, there's always one person that they listen to, irrespective of what the person does. So the person too lords it over every other person. It could still be the case that, okay, since I know if he handle you, make a carry person way, go fi handle you, so But I actually feel that 60 years, that was dehumanizing.
He's already weak.
Strength.
He's already
not
weak.
there. It's not there at all.
Okay, so seeing comments saying I'm justifying jungle justice, I stated clearly from the beginning this was wrong. I stated clearly again, because Nigeria, your viewers are special. This was wrong. And we're trying to break down these issues and help other families who might be going through it on how to stem it, and so we don't get here again. We don't see this happen again. If a parent has children who you're raising together, every child is entitled to what they can.
Yeah.
If they jointly own, there are rules to that as well. So that one person is not cheating the other. It is unfair for one person to work hard and get his wealth, and another sibling, just because of sibling entitlement, squander it. Now, resolving it by beating in such a dehumanizing way is not the solution. But, in Ijebu culture, for instance, I hear them say, Kinti today, you cannot use police to arrest your brother. Even your neighbor. So your neighbor, imagine, the one I handled that was so heartbreaking was that a brother-in-law had raped his niece. And the wife was shouting. The brother was saying, it's my brother. Oh yeah, that one, how do we solve it? You must go to court. You must find some form of justice. Sadly, justice can be death. Imagine if, they arrest the young man. He's under age sexual conduct and rape for that instance. He's a life sentence. So you cannot come and be bringing sibling and, sentiment into it. Now, sadly, the measures they took has led to death. We're investigating a murder. There's a case here.
We're not focused now on
I'm not pushing it under the carpet. We are dissecting the issue, and we're just even starting. There are many sides to this issue. And so we cannot say because Nigerians want to hear that they have killed their brother, everybody go to prison, and we should just close the matter. We're trying to see how we got here in the first place, because we didn't address a sibling entitlement. We didn't address everybody's rivalry to what they have earned. And so all of those issues, and maybe possibly sibling rivalry amongst children, possibly. Because I don't understand how two brothers watch their brother being beaten to that point. If you want correct and not to feel and beat now.
Okay, so Nima,
let's
let me
take a
ask
short
you.
break now, honey. When we come back, we take phone calls and messages and continue on the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.